Hola a todos, me llamo Jackson. Or should I say, Hola a todos, MD's Jackson. This video investigates Catalan identity and how it is shaped by both language and Catalonia as an autonomous region of Spain.
So what is Catalan and what is Spanish? Let me show you.
Sánchez de volver a gobernar con los mismos, esta vez con el concurso de Junts.
Más complicado
Esta
todavía,
vez
sí.
más complicado, porque Junts, claro, hemos pasado en el Congreso la última legislatura, hemos visto pleno tras pleno, Junts no votaba nada. O sea, Junts no ha votado nada. Junts entró en una suerte de inhibición de todo.
A una al Baix Llobregat ja serà l'alarma, de seguida hi anirem, i de Granollers també serem, en aquest cas, al mercat de Granollers, per veure quina és la reacció, i a Mataró començaran també a sonar aquests telèfons mòbils d'aquí a pocs minuts. Marta Vallès, tot a punt?
Hola, bon dia. Doncs sí, estem aquí al centre de Mataró, som a la Rambla, amb la plaça de Santana, i les terrasses dels cafès aquí estan plens de gent, per això és com cada matí.
Imagine you're visiting and traveling through Barcelona for the first time. You step out of a metro and look around, except you can't understand everything despite speaking good Spanish. Then you realize the signs are not in Spanish, they're in Catalan. You listen to people speak to each other, greeting people with bon dia, not buenos dias. You're confused. In fact, you may look like this.
Catalan, the language.
Catalan isn't a dialect or an accent, it's its own language. It has different grammar, history, and literature. Catalan developed here, in this region, in Catalonia, even before Spain became the modern nation that it is today. To understand Catalan identity, you have to start here with the language. Catalan developed when it evolved from Latin, which was spoken by Roman colonizers between the 8th and 10th century. The earliest texts were written almost entirely in Catalan, date to the 11th century. The language expanded between the 12th and 13th century with conquests of Aragon, and the language spread south to Valencia, the Balearic Islands, and parts of Sicily. By the late 1200s, it was officially recognized as a distinct language with its own territory. However, it faced suppression in its later stages, but experienced a 19th century cultural revival and remains a major language in Spain, especially in the Catalonian area. Let's think about this space, Catalonia, as a region. To the outsider, Catalonia is just another part of Spain, but in reality, it's a territory with its own culture, history, and identity, which has been shaped for centuries. These roots go back past the medieval age of Spain into the Middle Ages, when the counties that made up the Principality of Catalonia were united under the Count of Barcelona. However, by the 12th century, the County Barcelona and the Kingdom of Aragon, you guys remember Ferdinand and Isabella, were unified under a single dynasty, the Crown of Aragon. However, during this time, Catalonia and Aragon developed separate political and cultural communities. With this, the language of Catalan flourished in the region with the military expansion of territories like Valencia, the Balearic Islands, and Sicily. This flourishing would not last, though, and after the Christian reconquest of 1492, and when Spain began colonization of the Americas, all political power in Spain began centered around Castile, which especially marginalized Catalonia. They were not happy with this. Peasant revolts eventually led to the Reapers' War in the 17th century, when for the first time Catalonia declared itself a republic. The Reapers' War ended up shaping a big part of Europe's geography. With the Treaty of the Pyrenees, Catalan territory was granted to France, dividing Catalan culture and language behind nation lines. And although Catalonia continued to exist as a region, its status as an autonomous government was ended. After more years of war and treaty, Catalonia entered the first period of its life without political autonomy. Its government was dismantled and was changed to adhere with the Spanish monarchy. Some of Catalonia sees itself different in the modern world today. The Catalan independence movement is a social and political movement that looks for independence of the Catalonian region from Spain with the establishment of a Catalan republic. This goes back to nationalism in Catalan during the 19th century, which was influenced by broad romantic nationalism European movements. These movements emphasize language as a soul of people, history as a source of identity, as well as nations being defined by shared culture and not just political rule. Today, in the 21st century, Catalonia has maintained this push for independence. During 2006, the support grew after disputes over Catalonia's autonomy with the main Spanish government. This effort grew strongest in 2017 when Catalonia held a referendum that was declared illegal by Spain, which moved to declare Catalonia as a republic. Though this still has not happened, independence remains an active issue, with pro-independence parties and ongoing debates about Catalonian identity. With the question of independence, it may be seen as merely a political movement, but in reality it's about identity and belonging. These are themes that are repeatedly seen within class texts. One example is I Am Catalan. This is a text that emphasizes identity as more personal and genetic and not just about birthplace or legal status. It's about language, memory, and culture. To me, this reading shows that independence is not only about being autonomous and separate from Spain, but more about who belongs. Catalan identity is not the same as Spanish identity. The language, history, and culture doesn't shape the same way. This independence movement reflects a greater struggle that is seen throughout the course, the struggle between identity and belonging. Catalonia's a history of loss, but also cultural revival, explains why their culture and language carries the weight it does today. It's not about borders, it's about recognition, identity, and belonging to a society and culture.